All talk, no action. That's the accusation tonight coming from critics of the Palaszczuk government over the delay in a key domestic and family violence reform, despite calls for the urgent appointment of a special supervisor to ensure the Hear Her Voice report is acted on. The role sits unfilled almost 12 months on.
Almost a year on from the release of the landmark Hear Her Voice report, the state opposition says key findings are falling on deaf ears.
The government's learnt nothing. They're more interested in saying they're going to implement reports and then doing nothing.
The probe into coercive control and domestic and family violence was handed down last December, the government accepting all 89 recommendations in June. But one major aspect is yet to be addressed. Former Court of Appeal President Margaret McMurdo recommending the state government establish an implementation supervisor, that it be done immediately with an appointment by early 2022, and that the supervisor should report directly to the Attorney General from mid-2022 until the implementation is complete. But despite the urgency, it's likely that won't happen until next year. The Premier today in Townsville keen to kick the can down the road.
We'll have to ask the relevant minister. My understanding is that they are in the process of recruiting that person.
As for an exact timeline, Premier Palaszczuk wouldn't be drawn on that either.
I have to ask the Attorney General's office.
To hear that the government won't be progressing until next year is deeply disappointing. Good governments plan, deliver and evaluate.
The Attorney General's also responded to pleas from the family of suspected murder victim Tina Greer, who've been pushing for another investigation into the Gold Coast woman's death in 2012. Shannon Fentiman writing to the coroner, supporting an inquest, believing it could promote better responses in domestic violence situations. The case is still open and a $250,000 reward for information is on the table. A decision is expected by the end of the month. Brendan Smith for 10 News First.